Hey guys, Nathan Aviation here, and today we have a 101 video for you guys today. Today we'll talk you through what are the different types of ways that you can control an aircraft, starting with the most simple one, that is the cables and pulley system that we can find on aircraft such as the Cessna 172, Cessna 152, Cessna's Caravans, and most of the older aircraft such as DC-3s. And these systems normally work just with cables and pulleys because the controls are light, so when you command on the flight deck of the aircraft a direction, the pulleys and cables will be commanding the flight controls, right? So as we can see, we can turn left and right. The flight controls will work without needing the need of a hydraulic pump. Look, without the need of a hydraulic pump. That's the most simple type of flight control that we have on real life. I am using the simulator just to demonstrate to you guys. So yeah, that's the most simple one, just cables and pulleys. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so now the next type of flight control that we can find on commercial jets now. Mainly on the 737. The 737's 60s design, so yeah. It uses also the cables and pulleys, but with hydraulic pumps, electrical hydraulic pumps. On some 37, we need to turn on those hydraulic pumps. These are electricals, or you need the engines to work. Uh, so the 737 needs or electricity for these to work, or the engines been working. Let's turn on the batteries. Let's turn on, let's say, the APU here. Just wait a bit. So yeah, the 737, as you can see, I am moving the yoke, but as you can see, you need to be hard on the controls, and the rudder doesn't move. You need to be hard on the controls. The speed brakes don't come up. And here, look, it's a pretty slow thing, and that's how it works when the aircraft's literally out of power. So let's suppose you are without engine 1 and engine 2 in the air, and there's no time to start the APU. The aircraft will fly like that. All manual flight control. That's just the cables and pulleys working on the jet. And that's pretty hard to control the jet. So Boeing came up with the hydraulic pump. Yeah, that's the first one that we can see here. Let's turn on the electrical hydraulic pumps. And as you can see, left APU still turns off. It doesn't have the moves because we are just with the battery right now. It doesn't move yet. So we need to wait for the battery to be on so we can move that. Look, not the battery, the APU, right? Yeah, there is the APU. It's coming up. APU generators. Let's turn these on. Let's also turn on the APU bleed. So yeah, with the APU on, as we can see, the hydraulic pumps work. And as we can see, for turning the aircraft, it's a faster movement that we've got here. And the flight speed brakes open. These things help when moving the aircraft from side to side, like when turning the aircraft, right? So when you are turning the aircraft right, you would like to have a bit of bank and a bit of drag so you can turn the aircraft right, for example. And here at the back of the aircraft, as we can see, the elevators move faster. And as well, now the rudder moves because we've got the hydraulic pump. And the rudder just moves with the hydraulic pumps on the engines. I think on the classics and the originals, it moves also with cables and pulleys. So yeah, let's go to the next type of flight control that is a mix of full fly-by-wire and cables and pulleys. Okay, so now on the Boeing 777, so the 777 has two types of how the flight controls will work. You've got just the hydraulic pumps that is the most normal way, but during the 777 development, the pilots made sure to ask Boeing to also make a cable and pulley system just in case you had emergencies. So on the 777, yeah, almost all flight controls are by the hydraulic pumps because it's a huge jet and its fly-by-wire was the first fly-by-wire jet of Boeing. So yeah, let's turn on the hydraulic pumps here. As you can see, uh, probably there's no sounds here from simulator. I will turn on the APU also. So yeah, you will turn that right, left. You've got the same scheme of the 737, right? You've got the elevator, the flight speed brake so you can make turns easier, the rudder here that moves just with the little thing right there, the pumps. But let's suppose I turn off the air pumps and the primary engine pumps. Just let the demand on. Oh no, it's wrong here. Um, the electrical pumps. No, it's not these ones that need to come off. Okay, so these are the electrical pumps. These are the engine electrical pumps. And as you can see, look, these are the flight spoilers. So, when Boeing decided to make these jets, when they were asking the pilots what to do when building the jet, right? Um, the pilots asked it for having at least one flight spoiler, at least, for when the engines came off, no electricity, they could maneuver the aircraft with cables and pulleys. So yeah, if I turn off here the hydraulic system, it obviously won't work, right? No, it will work because the 777 is a bit different from the other aircrafts that are fly-by-wire. So yeah, when you are in the air, on the go, flying, and then you lose both engines and the rat doesn't comes out, you have a bit of cables and pulleys. But just one flight spoiler on each wing and just the ailerons, not the flaperons, and just the things here, the elevators, and no rudder as of my records. So yeah, let's go to the final type of flight control that is one of the funniest ones. It's fully computer driven. Okay, so for the last type of flight controls, we are here on the Airbus A330. The Airbus A330 is a full fly-by-wire aircraft, so if you lose flight controls, you will need the rad to survive. So the radar here on the A330 rests right here. So let's suppose you lose flight controls on the A330, you lose both engines. You will need either the RATs or the APU. The APU will take longer to start up, so yeah, you have the RATs for a bit of support. Let's turn on this guy so we can demonstrate that. Um, that A330 is a bit different from normal. Oh yeah, just let's turn the air start unit here. And boom, start the engines. Ignition start. Turn on the fuel pumps, obviously. I am making procedures faster. Alrighty? Turning on the engines so we can demonstrate it fast. Okay, so the hydraulics already came up because we are with the engines starting up. So, oh, look at the smoke there. So yeah, same logic, same thing. Spoilers, just as the Boeing aircrafts. Look, but it doesn't have the two tabs rudder that we have on the 777. But you've got also the flight spoilers, the ailerons. You haven't got the inboard ailerons that are the flaperons on Airbus aircrafts, right? So you just got the ailerons that are a bit of flaperons. Oh yeah, I forgot that this aircraft comes with. Oh, it's ECAMs, just with the reduced lightning. Yeah, let's turn on the other engine now. So yeah, so when you lose power on the A330, you will be quite cooked. You're on the 330. When the 330 loses power on the air, you'll need the rat to work right here. Unfortunately, on X-Plane, the reds isn't included on the A330, but it works technically. And when you are really in need for power, you turn on the APU. Even with the APU off, you should technically get flight controls. Look, you technically should get flight controls even if they aren't as strong as the engine flight controls. And yeah, if you haven't got power at all on the A330, you will just survive on the red because the A330 is a full fly-by-wire aircraft, so you don't have any cables and pulleys that we had all the way up to the 777 even. The A330, you've got all flight computers that you command here on the flight deck via the fly-by-wire that sends electrical signals to the flight controls, right? That commands the hydraulic pumps that makes the aircraft to do its movements. Look, the APU is on, but the hydraulic power isn't enough for the E330. Look, APU is on, but you haven't got enough hydraulic power here. But yeah, that's how flight controls work. Thanks God on the A330, um, we have never got, at least of my knowledge, any failure with flight controls because if the Airbus aircrafts they really make big big protections so this never happens. Uh, that's basically of my knowledge. I never saw an A330 falling out of sky because of flight controls not working. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and yeah, hope you guys like the video, enjoyed how to know how the flight controls work on different aircrafts, from the basics to the most complex that are the Airbus aircrafts. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.